Good morning, Rahana. Good morning, Kiran. How are you feeling? Oh, I have stars on my face too. Someone was asking me about that too. Like, why do you have stars on your face? Like, I'm taking care of my skin and I have a big personality. Like, having the regular clear ones just doesn't make any sense to me. Like, I might as well have fun while I'm doing it. Good afternoon to you in Ireland. I'm so excited. I'm going to give people. Oh, wow. I'm going to give people some time to hop on because I know it takes time for the other platforms to notify that I'm live. While we do that, let me know how your week has been so far, okay? And you can always go ahead and grab some water if you haven't gotten any water yet. This is the time to stay hydrated, okay? I also dropped. Oh, Alexa, can you pause? Alexa, stop. It's like I want to be gentle, and then when I'm gentle, she's just kind of like, I don't hear you, girl. So it's anyway. As I was gonna say, I dropped a new blog for the Gemini full moon. Hi, for the Gemini full moon, along with hi, how are you? Insights on the Venus and Jupiter trine that's happening tomorrow. And then, of course, we have the insights on the winter solstice that's happening on the 21st with the invitation to the Lotus Life Deck party where we'll be manifesting together. I'm so excited. Today, we're going to be using EFT to help us keep our heart open and step into a bigger life. Which I don't know if you guys have noticed this, but since doing the open heart meditation on Monday, I have been feeling all of the feelings, even more than I normally do. I've been ultra sensitive. And then that's that reminder to like, please drink your water. It helps you to process your emotions. It's not just me saying it to annoy you. It really, hydration is key to your well being. If you're dehydrated, it can really influence how your emotions feel in the body. It can really just keep you dysregulated. So drink your water, okay? If you're feeling your feelings, feel them and sip water at the same time, okay? Ah, thank you. Yeah, I don't know where Jack is, right? He's been missing for the past like two lives. I hope he's okay. I hope he's okay. So on Monday, we talked about having an open heart and what that meant to be vulnerable and the level of courage that it has. I'm gonna actually unplug this because the buzzing was a lot in my ear. Okay. So we talked about the importance of having an open heart because that vulnerability leads you to being courageous, leads you to having a level of discernment and calling in healthier experiences in your life. How important it is to embrace the unknown, not in a way of like, oh no, I'm afraid, but in a way of like, you know what, I'm going to trust in myself, I'm going to trust in my source, and that as I move into the unknown, good things are going to happen for me. We talked about reframing our relationship to resistance, looking at resistance and contrast as a way to refine our experience, to clarify what it is that we do and don't want. I have plenty of classes on YouTube about contrast, and I just dropped a TikTok video that breaks it down too. So whether you like long form content or short form, there's insights on that. And I think it's such an important thing to understand contrast, to understand resistance in your life, because once you do, it becomes so much more easier for you to flow with the ebbs that are gonna happen in life regardless. Hi, how are you? Let me know where you're tuning in from, okay? If you're first time here to the live, drop it in the comments, even if you're watching the replay. Okay? And then last but not least, we cultivated. That's an interesting word. We cultivated an open heart by doing an open heart meditation that allowed us to let the heart's aura expand so that we could feel not only safe in our bodies, but safe to feel all that we've been feeling. So for me, after doing that open heart meditation, a lot of emotions came up that were kind of stored beneath the surface. And I took the past couple of days to really sort through them, to really sit with them. And I'm still sitting with them as we speak and allowing them to give me the information and the guidance and the wisdom that they were sent to give me. So if that has been you, I'm holding your hand. We're in this together, and we're going to do some EFT to balance out those energy systems so we can feel a little bit more stable in our emotions. Okay? Thank you. Okay. So, see ya. Hi. I'm sure Summer Star is going to pop on right before EFT. Like, she just knows. She just knows. So I want to talk about understanding the fear of expansion because that happens a lot to us. Oh, Insight Timer's giving you issues? Yeah, I'm so sorry. I have no idea what's happening with the platform. I don't know why we're not seeing eye to eye, but it's okay. It's okay. I have faith that it'll all work itself out. And until then, we're live here too. So I'm gonna keep it open just in case. But you know, we move forward. Okay, so understanding the fear of expansion. I want to take a moment to reflect on why stepping into a bigger life can feel very intimidating, right? Um, Change challenges the familiar and pushes us into the unknown. We're going back to that understanding of the unknown. I want us to really embrace the fact that everything is unknown. You have absolutely no idea what's going to happen today. I know we may have we're guessing based off of what happened yesterday. Like, I'll get up, I'll go to work. Exactly, right. We're gonna make it work regardless. You might think, okay, I'm gonna get up, I'm gonna go to work, I'm gonna wear this outfit, I'm gonna eat this food. Like, these are thoughts that we have, but we actually don't know if they're going to happen or not. And this is something that I really want us to begin leaning into, because people are so afraid of the unknown. And I'm like, we're living in the unknown all the time. Like, tell me how many times you've heard we're in unprecedented times. We're always in unprecedented times. Like, it's always something that we're just like, what? This is a thing? I didn't know that. Like, aliens in the ocean. What do you mean? Like, we're always living in unprecedented times. Always. It's just where we're at. It's where we've always been. I do believe that because we have things like social media and getting information out into the world has just been so much more mm, vast, right? Where there used to be like a streamline of information. We're getting it from these certain sources. Now, pretty much anybody can come and share information, and we're getting a lot at once. And we're starting to realize how much of this world is unknown to us, how much of this world can shift and change in the blink of an eye. And knowing that can feel really terrifying because it feels like there's no sense of stability, there's no sense of control. But the truth is that the only thing constant in life is change. That is the only thing you're guaranteed in life outside of eventually, transitioning, is change. That is a sure thing. You're either going to change in your body, you're going to change in your mindset, you're going to change environment, you're going to change foods that you like. There's consistent and ever growing, ever evolving change. That's all we have to really center us. And when you reframe your relationship to change, instead of it being, I'm afraid of what's next, as to, I trust the fact that if this is the constant that I've been given by source, whatever I call on to, that there must be good things that come from that, you're going to be able to flourish in ways that many people are struggling with, right? Hi, how are you? So let me know if that makes sense. It's going to challenge the familiar because after a while we outgrow the spaces, the people, the perspectives that we've had. Who you were as a child, there may be glimpses within you as an adult, but you're vastly different. And that's okay. There's nothing wrong with change. There's nothing wrong with evolving. Hey, how are you? And we want to make sure that we embrace that, because when we are allowing ourselves to move forward, when we are allowing ourselves to be brave enough to have an open heart, to be vulnerable, to accept new experiences, it is a little scary, but also it's really beautiful, because then you're able to show up and experience all of the miracles and blessings that are just woven throughout life. Does that make sense? Let me know if that makes sense for you in the comments. Okay. Debbie, hi, how are you? The world is ever changing. It's never ending. Exactly. Exactly. Okay. Fear often tells us that we're not ready or that we'll lose something in the process. I've talked about fear so many times. There's so many lives you can go back to. Fear is a very worried friend. I don't want us to look at fear as like this negative thing that is haunting us or that hates us, this part that we have to tell to shut up. I want us to have a softer relationship with fear, because fear truly is just like that worried parent that's like, oh my God, you've never done this before. Like, what happens if you hurt yourself, or like you get your heart broken, or you break an ankle? It just wants you to be safe. So it will create these scenarios in your mind to keep you in what's familiar, because it's like, well, we know the familiar. But that also could become very harmful and dangerous, because then that can make you stay in relationships that you have grown out of. but because they feel familiar, you stay, despite the fact that they could be unhealthy for who you are and where you're going and how you're growing. So you really want to make sure that when fear comes up, that you address it in a way that you can soothe it. You know, I hear your concerns. This is unknown. We haven't done this before. It does feel kind of like scary, but I'm excited. We're going to take this as an adventure. And fear isn't like adventure. Fear is like, we don't do that. I keep you safe. But you have to know what is rational fear and what is irrational fear. And a lot of things that are causing us to have limiting beliefs, a lot of the um, experiences that we hold on to, the traumas that are embedded in us that keep us from fulfilling our desires, that becomes irrational because it doesn't allow us to blossom, it doesn't allow us to flourish. Rational fear is like if you step out into the street with moving cars, yeah, something horrible might happen to your body. Let's not do that, right? Let's not jump off of this cliff because maybe we won't survive. Rational fear. Irrational fear is if I step in front of these people and speak, they're all going to hate me. You don't know that. And even if they do, is that really that bad? Will you be in that moment forever? No, right? So we want to show up to fear and say, I see you, I hear you, but we're going to move forward because I want to express all of who I am. And I cannot do that if you are keeping me in the familiar. Okay? Let me know how that feels for you. Yes, send your messages, feed them. If you sent me the direct message on Insight Timer, me and Insight Timer are having a moment. We're figuring out how to see eye to eye, and I'm not getting everything that I need to get. So you're gonna have to bear with me. But if you have my email, send me an email. Okay? All right, last but not least, opening your heart to possibility requires vulnerability and trust. We talked about how big vulnerability is in your wellness journey, in your spiritual journey, and just in life in general. Vulnerability allows you to be courageous. People think that being brave means that you fear nothing, and being brave means that I still feel fear and I do it anyway, right? Being courageous means that I still know that this could fail. I still know that I might get, a little hurt in the process, but I'm willing to show up regardless because I want to have this experience. Hi, how are you? I want to know what I can do, what I'm capable of, what is before me, what's going to unravel. So it's really important that you have a sense of vulnerability. And I am someone that is extremely vulnerable, but then I also struggle with vulnerability. It's very interesting. It depends on the topic. Sharing my life story, sharing what I've grown through, I guess in a public setting does not bother me. I don't feel any way if you feel like, oh, that was crazy, Lo, or maybe that was stupid of you to do. Your opinions don't necessarily matter. And it allows me to be very vulnerable and authentic in sharing my experience because ultimately I know that I'm showing up in this space to give you the insights that have been placed on my heart to do. Nothing really gets in the way of me doing that. But, in more personal things like, trying again in certain relationships or, um, just things that feel a bit more intimate. I'm just like, I don't know. I kind of just want to ignore this and move forward. So I'm also too growing through strengthening my sense of vulnerability alongside with you. And I talked about that in my recent email too, because it's been a journey. It's been an experience for sure. And it can feel uncomfortable because feeling vulnerable is it feels like you're walking around naked, and anything can happen. You might get splashed something weird or, somebody might point and laugh. It just makes you feel, you realize how delicate you are when you're vulnerable, right? You understand that you're not this machine, you're not this tough persona that we put on. I'm from New York. New York City girls are globally known to be very tough individuals. We have really strong personalities, we have strong accents, we talk with our hands. It's a thing. But we're also big softies, It's the persona that keeps us safe in a lot of spaces. But if we lean too much on that persona, if we lean too much in that way of being tough, we forget how soft we are. And then when we're presented with a moment to be vulnerable, it shocks the shit out of us. We're just like, oh, snap, I can really feel that deep. That was a lot. Even as a practitioner, I am consistently finding times where I'm like, oh, I am very delicate. Sometimes I'm delicate like a flower. Other times I'm delicate like a ticking time bomb. It really just depends on the experience. And I am constantly taking time to study myself and study how I'm feeling and study why I feel the way that I feel. And it has done so much for me for in my professional and in my personal life. So I encourage you to continue to have an open heart as you move forward in life. Everybody goes through things. Everybody has heartache. Everybody has trauma. Everybody has very heavy things that they're carrying. And we're all figuring out how to navigate it. And there's so much going on in people's inner worlds that I think that if we remember that, we won't be as afraid to be vulnerable, you know? We'll show up because we realize that everybody has their own shit that they're navigating, and what I can do is just navigate mine the best way that I can and make sure that I'm being as gentle and as kind as possible to others because I have no idea what they're carrying. I have no idea what level of commitment or bravery it took for them to be in a space with me right now. I think that would make the world a kinder place, a safer place too, but ultimately like more beautiful. Okay? Oh, you know my email? It's my name at gmail.com. If I put it in here, it'll shut down the comments. But yeah, let me know how that feels for you. So does that make sense when we understand the fear of expansion? These are the kind of things that could make us stop. Fear of being worried about us stepping into the unknown. Change, meaning that we're not going to always know what's next. But if you find yourself in a space that is new, know that you are prepared to be there. You wouldn't be in the space if you weren't prepared. I cannot tell you how many times I've talked to students and clients about that. You would not be presented with the opportunity if you were not prepared for it. You just wouldn't be presented. It just would not align. It just would not, you would run parallel to you. You would never experience it if it was not for you to experience. And you have to have a level of trust, not only in source, whoever you call on to, but also in yourself. That I would not be in this environment, be in this space, be presented with this person if I was not able to have an experience with them. The issue is that we have an expected outcome, and then when that outcome doesn't happen, we think that this wasn't for our benefit. But when you really understand how the universe works, you know that everything is in your benefit, including the heartaches, including the trauma. It does ultimately benefit you because it allows you, when you face it, when you have a safe space to do so too, to witness a deeper level of empathy, of compassion, also of resiliency, to be able to make it out of experiences that most people can't even imagine enduring. It gets to show you just how dynamic you are as a being, as a human being, but also as a spiritual being. And we need those reminders constantly. Otherwise, we go on autopilot and we're no longer actively living life. We're just going through the motions. And when we're just going through the motions, we miss so many opportunities to show up and express our purpose and our passion to the world. Does that make sense? Yes, yes, you are dynamic, Alexandra. We're dynamic beings, which means that we're gonna have dynamic experiences. Dynamic doesn't mean always great and wonderful. It means like there's a fullness to it. There's that yin and that yang, that dark and that light, and both are necessary for you to have a whole and full experience. Okay. Okay. I went through a very bad breakup in February, and oh my God, it was for the best alchemy. Yeah, yeah. In the moment, it doesn't feel like it, right? In the moment, you're like, oh man, like I feel heartbroken. How will I ever get through this? And you go through the different feelings. You go through the anger and the denial and the replaying what you could have done better, what you could have said. You go through all these things, and then you come to a space where you realize, I needed this separation, or I needed this sense of loss and grief to be able to soften, to be able to come back home to myself. Because ultimately, that's what happens. Like, trauma is an invitation for you to come back home to yourself. Heartbreak is an invitation for you to come back home to yourself. When we're experiencing health challenges, right, it's an invitation to come back home to yourself. I like to look at it as like a sign that I've kind of ventured too far away from number one, and I'm getting back into alignment. Because sometimes we'll just wander off and completely forget ourselves. We'll forget ourselves in our self-care. We'll forget ourselves in our titles and our obligations in our relationships. And it's dangerous. It's like the best way that I can put it. It's like forgetting you, number one, the center of your world. Like, Really think about what that would look and feel like if you forgot yourself, because you're the one living your life. I'm not living your life for you. So even if I were to forget you, it's not doing much of anything. But if you forget yourself, if I forget me, and I think about the times where I've forgotten myself, I was so unhappy. I was so miserable. I was truly sick, not just physically or mentally or emotionally, but spiritually unwell because I had forgotten me. The reason why I'm here on earth is so that I can live my life as me through my experiences, share my gifts and my talents to the world. I cannot do that if I forget myself. Those experiences that we have, the change, the fear, it's all invitations to remember yourself. Remember how brilliant you are. Remember how beautiful you are, how bold you are. Remember how brave you are. And begin to embody that again as this person that's had more life experiences. And then see where that takes you and let that become an adventure, right? Yes. Come back home to yourself. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, how are we feeling? I'm going to take some more of my tea because I am a little under the weather today. It's really intense. um, but it's good. That's good. It is turmeric, ginger, because I know people always love to know the teas. Turmeric, ginger, honey, lemon, and lime with elderberry. But it is spicy and a little tart. But it's healthy, so I'm going to do it. There we go. Okay, so I have some journaling questions for you all. I'm going to drop those probably on Substack as well. So check that out. So if you can't write it down now, do not worry. But the first question is, what does a bigger life mean to me? What does it mean to live a bigger life? So often we were asking for more, but like if I were to ask you what more means, most people don't know what that means. They might be like, oh, more money. Like, well, how much more money? Good morning. How much more money? Right? I want more love. Okay, what type of love? We're talking about like romantic love, love for self, love from your community, love for your genius. Like, what type of love are we talking about? So when you ask for a bigger life, what does that mean to you? How clear are you on that? And if you find that you're not really that clear, then I want you to sit with yourself and figure out what that can look and feel like, okay? The second question is, what fears or stories have been holding me back from stepping into my vision? Super important. This is something that we go into in depth during the Lotus Life Deck party that I'll be hosting on Saturday. We actually take time to talk about trauma because you can't really call in new things in your life. You can't really manifest good things if you haven't dealt with the heaviness that you're carrying, if you haven't explored your shadows and witnessed the wisdom that's there for you. So, what stories, what limiting beliefs have you been holding on to? And why do you keep holding on to them? And are you ready to let go? Because if you want to call in a bigger life, you're going to have to make space for it. Because right now, everything is filled up to the brim. There's no space for you to have your bigger life. You have to clear it out, which means that you have to address your darkness. You have to address the shadows and see what needs to be removed and what can be transmuted into wisdom, right? And then the last question is, what would it feel like to lead with an open heart as I expand? What would it feel like? Not how can I think through having an open heart. Remember, we are feeling bodies that think, not thinking bodies that feel. What would it feel like if I showed up each day with an open heart? What would it feel like? For me, I'm instantly like, my heart just wants to open up and be like, we would have so much fun. It would be so good. But I really want us all to take that time out to connect because it might be scary. You might be like, oh, having an open heart and leading that with my day would be a lot for me. Why? Why would it be a lot for you? And how can we get it to be where you'd be more comfortable having an open heart? You know? Kelly! Hi. Yes, Debbie, come, come. I'm gonna drop it in here for you. Um, since I know you're not on social like that, okay? Hopefully this doesn't stop the chat, but come, email me. I would love to have you. Okay. So those are the questions that we have. Again, I will drop those in the chat on Substack. I'll drop it right after this class so that you guys can have that so you don't have to like rewrite it down. But I'll repeat it one more time. What does a bigger life mean to me? What fears or stories have been holding me back from stepping into my vision? And what would it feel like to lead with an open heart as I expand? Okay? And now we are going to get into the EFT tapping because I know everyone is so excited for that. We're going to do 3 rounds. We're going to do 1 round that's negative and we're going to do 2 rounds that are positive. Before we jump into EFT, I like to just express and clarify what it is. And for those that already know the spiel, go ahead and drink some water. All right. Get hydrated and just lean in, get prepared, get ready. EFT stands for Emotional Freedom Techniques, and it's this beautiful healing modality where you are tapping on certain points on the body, and as you're tapping on the points, you're communicating to the body in a language in which it understands. Of, hey, this topic that I'm talking about when we're in negative rounds, maybe I've said it to myself, maybe someone said it to me and I internalized it, maybe I overheard it and I felt a way about it. Either way, I want to bring this up to the forefront, and I want to transmute it, or I want to learn to accept it and find the wisdom in it, right? And then when we are doing the positive rounds, we're tapping into these points and we're talking to the body and saying, I've cleared out this space. And now I want to put something in there that can really allow me to, hi, beautiful, that can really allow me to move forward, that can allow me to feel present in my body, feel brave enough to live out my dreams and desires. Okay, so that's what's happening with EFT. There's different forms, but I teach a traditional, very easy to do sequence. There are many different sequences. If we were to do something one-on-one, I'd have different sequences for you based off of the trauma that we're addressing, your range of mobility. All these things are considered in a one-on-one session. But for the general public, since there's so many of us on here today, we're going to go through 10 tapping points today. We're adding in the heart tapping point. So I'm going to share them with you. I'm going to share alternative ways for you to tap. And then we're going to jump into the session, okay? So the 10 tapping points we'll be doing today is the sleight of hand. I know, I'm so excited. It's the sleight of hand from pinky knuckle bone to wrist bone. Where my tattoo is, you would lightly tap here. And then we have the top of the head where the crown chakra would be. And then we have the start of the brow on either side. You would trace your brow to the side of your eye where the star is right here. And you would tap on, right here on the ocular bone. Trace that ocular bone underneath your eye and tap there. Underneath the nose, above the top lip, tap here. Then underneath the chin, underneath the lip, in the crease of the chin, tap here. Then we're going to go to the collarbone, and we're going to tap here. The best way to find the collarbone point is to link the thumbs together, place the thumbs in the center. This is where your heart point is. Then where your fingertips fall, that would be where your collarbone points are. So this is a really effective way to do that. I know people kind of struggle with finding the collarbone point. So tap here, and then your thumbs, that's where your heart point is. Then we trace underneath the arm to the side. If you wear a bra, be where your bra strap is. Or at the end of your armpit, and you would tap here. Okay? Those are the 10 tapping points. You do not have to remember them at all. You just have to watch me. Okay? That's it. I'm guiding you the whole time. I'm holding your hand through this experience. Okay? Now, if you are someone that is like highly sensitive, or maybe you are struggling with mobility, I'm going to show you some alternative ways of tapping. So we always have the traditional way of tapping. You can tap with 1 finger, 2 fingers, all the fingers, whatever works for you. Then we have the pulsing, where you keep the hand to the body. Then we have where you can rub. It's very soothing. We have where you can hover if you're someone who's super sensitive to energy. I want you to hover. We're electric. So sometimes it can feel like a light switch just went on, and that can be overwhelming to your senses. So if you get overwhelmed, just hover, okay? And then for those that need help with mobility, you would just think about it. You could literally just think of yourself, okay, I'm tapping on the side of my hand right now. It requires a bit more focus, but if you're someone that can't reach a certain point, you can focus in on that point in your mind's eye and it still does the same amount of work. That's the cool thing about energy healing. Like, it just feels so magical. I always love moments like that where I'm like, that is so freaking cool. There are studies that show that if someone's thinking about tapping in the same point, it's just as good as if somebody was physically tapping. That's just how connected our energy is. Okay, so any one of those things works. And we're going to do tuning. So tuning is where we use a number on our scale to let us know where we are at and how our energy is going to flow. Because EFT feels so subtle, um, it's hard to know that energy is moving in general, but like especially with EFT because you're so focused in on the energy systems. We're not only just tapping into like our meridians, the energetic pathways that run within and throughout us that affect our aura, our heart's aura. We're also tapping into like the chakra systems. And it can feel like nothing is happening when in fact you're doing so much incredible work and impactful work. So we use a tuning scale to help us document our journey, and we're going to do that together. So whether you drop your number in the chat or if you write it down next to you, I want you to document your journey. It's super important, okay? All right. So -10 is the absolute worst you have ever felt. Ever. Okay? 0 is I don't feel bad, but I also don't feel good. And then +10 is I feel amazing. Top of my game. Best I've ever felt ever in my entire existence, okay? So right now, I want you to think about what number comes up for you intuitively. And I want you to drop in the chat or write it down. And I'm going to do the same, okay? Yay, you made it! Hi, Rachel. Right now, I'm going to say I'm like at a 4. I'm at a 4. It's always good being here with you all. That does help me feel better. Najla, hello, how are you? Okay, beautiful, beautiful. All right, let's do it. We're going to start off at the side of the hand, and I want you to repeat after me because your voice is medicine. Your voice is magic, okay? So is mine, but yours for you, even better, okay? We're going to lightly tap here. Take a nice deep inhale, exhale. Soften the shoulders. And repeat after me. Even though I feel afraid of stepping into a bigger life, I deeply honor where I am and open my heart to the possibilities ahead. We're going to stay here and repeat it again. Even though I feel afraid of stepping into a bigger life, I deeply honor where I am and I open my heart to the possibilities ahead. One more time. Even though I feel afraid of stepping into a bigger life, I deeply honor where I am and I open my heart to the possibilities ahead. We're going to move to the top of the head, tap here. I feel so scared about stepping into a bigger life. Brow, what if I'm not ready for this expansion? What if I'm not prepared? Side of the eye. The unknown feels overwhelming and uncertain. Underneath the eye. I feel this fear in my heart and in my body. I play scenarios over and over in my head, and they don't make me feel good. Underneath the nose, tap here. Like, what if I fail? Or I lose something or someone important? What if someone doesn't understand me? Or what if someone is unsafe? Then my heart gets broken. Or I miss out on an opportunity that would change my life. Chin. It feels safer to stay where I am. What's familiar. Even though I'm not happy, I'm really not happy. I do want more. But what is more? Collarbone, top here. This fear is keeping me stuck and closed off. I'm hesitant. I'm not responsive. I just feel lost. Heart. I don't know if I can handle a bigger life. I'm going to say that again. I don't know if I can handle a bigger life. If I can handle more love, more beauty, more prosperity, living a healthier life with a healthier body. I just don't know if I can handle that. Underneath the arms, have here. I'm holding on to this fear. And it feels so heavy. And I am just so tired. I just want to let go, but I do not know how. It is all that I know right now. I don't want it. It's so heavy. I want you to drop your hands into your lap. Take a nice deep inhale. Breathe in, filling up the lower belly, expanding that breath into the heart space. And a slow open mouth exhale, release, softening the shoulders, softening the face. Just taking a moment to notice how your body feels right now. It's okay if you feel a little teary-eyed, or maybe you are belching or yawning, feeling a little tingly. These are all just signs that energy is moving in the body, okay? You might feel nothing at all, and that's also okay. I want you to think about what you are feeling in your body, if anything. And if it's not, then that would be a 0, okay? And think about that tuning scale again. -10 being the absolute worst you've ever felt. 0 being I don't feel bad and I don't feel good. And then +10 being the best you've ever felt. And drop that new number in the chat, okay? And then drink some water. Oh, I did? I'm so happy. Beautiful. Okay. Drop those numbers. Now we're going to go into our 2 rounds of positive tapping. I'm very excited. Beautiful. I'm just looking at your numbers. Beautiful. Okay. Deep inhale, exhale. Wonderful. We're going to bring a smile to our face. Even if you're like, I'm not happy. That's okay. Your mind does not know the difference. It really cannot understand reality from fantasy at all. It's what we tell it is real that it begins to believe it's real. So we're going to smile because it's going to help us tap into those feel-good chemicals. And then we're going to tap on some positive statements so that we can leave feeling a little bit better. All right? So let's start with the side of hand. Deep inhale, breathing in. And so exhale, letting go. Repeat after me. Even though I feel afraid of stepping into a bigger life, I deeply honor where I am and open my heart to the possibilities ahead. I open my heart to expansion and trust that I am ready to receive all the beauty and goodness meant for me. Okay, and we're going to go to the top of the head, top here. I choose to honor my fear while remaining open to change. I can do both. Brow. It's safe for me to step into a bigger life. I am prepared enough to step into a bigger life. Brow, side of eye, excuse me. I trust that I'm ready for expansion. I'm so ready for expansion. I'm ready for all the blessings, all of the miracles, all of the love and joy that comes with that expansion. Underneath the eye, top here. I can handle the unknown with courage and with grace. I'm gonna do that one again. I can handle the unknown with courage and grace. Underneath the nose, top here. I choose to see change as an opportunity to grow, as an adventure, something to explore. Chin. Every step forward brings me closer to my dreams, closer to more love, bliss, happiness. Just thinking about it, I was so excited. Collarbone. And I am strong enough and soft enough to navigate this journey. Heart point. My heart is softening. And I'm beginning to trust. I'm beginning to trust myself, my genius, my creativity, my capacity to love, to be seen, to be cared for. I trust in my decisions, in who I show up for, in the spaces that I enter. We go to under the arm, tap here. I welcome the expansion with an open heart, an open mind, and a clear body. Top of head. I trust myself to step into a bigger and brighter life. Brow. My heart is open and ready to receive all of the good things coming in, all of the blessings and miracles on its way to me, all of the resources that place me in the best places at the best times with the best people. Side of eye. I embrace the unknown now with curiosity and joy. Like, how good can it get for me? How sweet can it get? Under the eye. I am aligned with the life that I'm creating. We are one and the same. It is happening right now. I am living in it as we speak. Under the nose, tap here. It feels so good to lead with an open and trusting heart. My confidence is boosted. I can walk in any space, converse with any person, and know I'm exactly where I need to be. Chin. Matter of fact, expansion is so natural for me. Like, I'm fully prepared for it. I was designed for expansion. It's so easy. We're going to go to the collarbone, tap here. I am safe. I am supported. I am seen. I'm ready to grow. I love that for me. Heart, tap here. I'm open, trusting, discerning, and aligned with my highest good. When I move throughout the world and people interact with me, they are witnessing my highest self. And I get to witness theirs. That is how open my heart is. Underneath the arm, tap here. This is my time right now, in this moment, in this lifetime, to expand into my bigger life, to receive all of the resources and blessings that can effortlessly shift my life and allow me to take care of myself, my loved ones, my community. Allow me to share my genius and my magic with the world. Allow me to be loved deeply, to be well respected, to receive and give kindness effortlessly. This is my time for all of that and more. Suddenly, I am prepared and ready. And I'm so grateful for an open heart. I'm so grateful to myself for taking the time out to recommit to this truth. I'm going to place both hands over the heart space. Left hand first, right hand on top. Deep inhale. You can close your eyes if that feels good, or just focus your gaze inward and breathe in through the heart space. Feeling the chest rise up on that inhale, and then on that exhale, let go and feel the heart come back home to the body. I want you to take a moment to feel your body. See if you can notice the mind and body connection. How open and how connected you are in your vessel. Maybe you can feel the streams of energy flooding from the top of the head to the soles of your feet. Maybe you notice how much more easier it is to breathe and take those deep inhales and soften into this moment. Maybe that your smile has gotten bigger, that your mind is a little bit more quiet. And what you do here is just positive affirmation and confirmation that this is your time, that your heart can be open and it can lead you to a beautiful life. Maybe you just feel radiant. Deep inhale, breathing into that heart space again. Feeling the chest rise, opening up the heart, rolling the shoulders back. And on that exhale, coming home, bringing a smile to your face. And I want you to think of that tuning scale. -10 being the worst you've ever felt. 0 being I don't feel bad and I don't feel good. And then +10 being the absolute best you've ever felt. And I want you to drop that final number in the chat. Okay? Hi, everybody. And let me know how you're feeling. How was this session for you? Did anything come up that you want to share? Okay. Make sure that you drink some water. As always, I want to thank you for, being in this space with me, for tapping with me, for allowing me to guide you and hold space for you. This is a very vulnerable act. And it's very beautiful to feel these feelings alongside you. Okay? So let me know how you're feeling, how you're doing. And before we go, we spent all of December doing these exercises, tapping, guided meditations to learn how our body and how our energy can align to our desires, align to our deepest manifestations. So if you want to dive in deeper, if you're ready to call in a beautiful 2025 with me as your practitioner and alongside a group of incredible human beings, I invite you to come to my manifestation party happening on Saturday, winter solstice, where we will tap, we will meditate, we'll do breath work, and we will dive into creating a solid foundation of who we are so that we can feel prepared and we can feel ready to call in more beauty, more love, more abundance, more adventure in our lives. So if that sounds like something that you need or something that you deserve, even if it's a little scary, maybe you feel a little afraid, I encourage you to come. And the invites will be in my stories, in the links, and it'll be in the caption below for both lives. Okay? You're feeling hopeful? Yes, good times can happen. They really can. I burst out crying with hands in the heart. That might be your soft spot, your sweet spot. Yeah, yeah, that's okay. I was a bit distracted, not by you. It's okay, Rachel. Yes, it'll be on YouTube. Yes, yes. The party is not going to be on YouTube. It's going to be on a private link for a private community. However, the invite to the party will be in the caption for the YouTube replay and in the caption for the Instagram replay too. Okay? It helps to feel and love myself. Yes. Being there for me. This is my time. Yes. Oh, that's so wonderful. Yes, I love this. This is great. Tears in your eyes too. Yeah. Yeah. A side effect of opening up the heart is that you might cry. That's also a side effect of tapping in general, but that's a good thing because that means that there was energy stored up in the body that was ready to release. Crying is such a beautiful and healing way to transmute energy. Okay, this is a safe space to cry. I literally cry all the time. I think because I am teaching, that's why it's not happening. But I feel it within me as well. So I appreciate you for being vulnerable. I feel more connected, more aligned. Yes. Yes, that means that EFT has done what it needs to do. I love to hear this. Oh, yay. Okay, beautiful. So, this is my last live on Instagram. Um, However, I'll still be going live on YouTube and on Insight Timer every Monday and Wednesday. I'll be going live next Monday for a Lotus Hour, and then I'm taking off for my sabbatical week and we'll be back on January 1st. I might do January 1st live or Insight on Instagram. We'll see how I'm feeling, essentially. Okay. But if you want to learn more about who I am, what I do to join the community, join my Substack, okay? I call it our Substack because though I'm writing, it's really for all of us, okay? I talk about dark feminine energy, personal power, how to transmute energy. I'll be dropping EFT scripts for the paid members. There's just a lot happening in that space. And it allows me to be a bit more creative and to share more of my insights on energy healing, energy psychology, positive psychology, alongside the more like oculate sides of me, where we talk about dark feminine energy and transforming. Okay? Let's see. Substack, oh my goodness, this is a really cool platform for like writers, and I get to really feed that Gemini rising in me. And I put out personal essays and blogs and think pieces. I released a short story on there that's really good. Like, please check it out. It's very vulnerable, but so good. Like, chef's kiss. But yeah, my Substack is my name, lotusaloba.substack.com. If you go on my Instagram, you'll see it in the stories. There's always an invite link for you to subscribe. You can subscribe for free. You can subscribe as a paid member. Remember that, this is part of my livelihood. So if you're watching and you're like, you know what, I really got something from this and I want to give something back, you can do so by donating via Insight Timer. You can donate by Buy Me a Matcha. The link is usually in my stories. Or you can subscribe to Substack, subscribe to the YouTube channel, join my email list, come to the party. There's so many different ways for you to exchange gratitude if you left with something. And hopefully you did, because that's really the intention and the goal of this space, okay? No, you didn't have to say, you never have to apologize for not knowing something. We learn together, okay? Yes, thank you, Rachel. That's how we gain knowledge. Yes, you never have to apologize here. Never. Okay? This is a safe space for us to explore and learn. And thank you so much for joining me on this journey. And I hope to see you at the Lotus Life Tech Party on Saturday. And if not, I hope to see you somewhere in my ecosystem soon. Okay? We love you so much. Thank you again. Have a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful rest of your week. Okay? Remember that your heart is open and that this is your time and that you are prepared and you are ready to call in bigger things in your life. Do not hesitate to live your life to the fullest, to accept all the beauty and wonder that is here for you. Do not deny yourself that type of love and experience. Let yourself have that, even if it feels scary, even if it feels like, I don't know if I'll be able to sustain it. Don't worry about that. Just let it happen and see where it carries you, see where it guides you. It might take you to the places and spaces and people and perspectives that you need to sustain it. But you won't know if you don't let your heart be open. And I'm speaking to myself, but I know I'm also speaking to you, okay? I love you so much. All right, bye.